welcome to the Project Exodus Corp podcast. My name is Paul.
I'm Joel.
And tonight we got Mr. Anthony as our podcast producer behind the
What's going on, y'all?
camera, the microphone. God, do not like how I look on camera.
It's 2025, man. You've been getting it already, though. So,
Yeah, it's been interesting.
day
4, 5, something like that.
I thought you started on the first.
No. Well, I didn't
So you
start.
took a week and a half to think about it.
Well, man, look. So I started going to the gym every morning at like 4 or 5 o'clock. I'll get up and go down amped, and I don't know. I'm sure I'm just glad I'm going. I'm trying to get in a routine of, getting there every morning, getting comfortable, getting used to waking up and being at the gym. And so for like the last few days, it's just been go and get on the treadmill for 30 minutes. That's kind of been the
Which amped?
Beneva and 12th.
Okay.
So that's been fun. I've actually really enjoyed it. Like I take a book, I try to read, 10, 12 pages of something and listen to some music. So starting Monday, I'm going to start doing some weight training, just some, backs and buys, chest and tries. There you go. Yeah. Stuff like that. Just all the muscle groups you want to work.
Yeah.
No legs.
Forget legs, man.
But yeah, that's,
sweats.
I think what really kind of helped me, it wasn't so much that, last time we talked, and I was like, I wanted to take better care of myself, like health wise. I realized just in the first couple of days that I really just want to do it for me. Like, it's not for anybody else, but I do understand, like, a better version of me taking better care of myself is going to do more for the people in my circle. Being healthier for Charlotte, being healthier for Shelby, I think being more mentally confident for Project Exodus and everything I'm involved in, my job is really what I'm looking forward to most. I think it's just better for me to be better shape for everything I'm involved in. Like, I feel like I owe it to those things to be in better health.
I agree. So you're not just chasing the aesthetics of it. You're realizing there's a lot more benefits.
Yeah.
Kind of go out there.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get laid. I'm not trying to, I don't sit there and go, oh man, I'm not like taking before and after pictures and things like that. I am like wanting to track it and document it because I do feel like this is going to be something that I can look back on and, I'm not just doing it for 75 days and giving up, but I do like being able to measure and challenge myself, like get on the scale once a week and see what that looks like. And I mean, I think what's really wild is like, I feel like I was in a really good routine prior to Charlotte getting here and then going through the whole new baby thing. I had a good routine with the gym, but I didn't have the level of intimacy with what I was doing. Like, I was just doing it to waste time, to fill my day with something. Now I feel like I'm doing it more out of a purpose for, just better health and a better, I really want to see the mental aspect of it, how it makes me feel mentally. Not I look good as it is anyway. I know. Freaking sexy.
How has the transition been to like waking up earlier?
Not bad. I was always waking up early. I just did not have like this goal, right? Like, I didn't have. This is really embarrassing to even say, but I drove to that gym at 5 o'clock in the morning numerous times, like an embarrassing amount of times. I wouldn't even get out of the car. Like, there was this mental block. It wasn't that I didn't want to go. I just was overwhelming, like the overwhelming amount of anxiety. And then I would just like go to Starbucks, get coffee, and go home. And
what was your fear? What were you scared of? Because I know a lot of people will probably go through something similar to that. So,
I think, I don't know. I can't really put it into words. I mean,
I remember last time I talked to you about it, I think you were scared to kind of start off with where you were strength wise? I know you and Andrew do a
Mhm.
lot of ego lifting, so it's about how much weight you can push, pull.
Yeah, we
Like so that you feel comfortable, like you feel like one of the
alpha males.
yeah, that there's that
I think it wasn't so much like caring about what other people in that environment would think or say, or like, feeling like someone else was judging me. It was more of like that feeling of disappointment of how far I'd fallen off
yeah.
and understanding how long it took me to get to that point, in the past, and then looking at that as like this overwhelming mountain to climb again, where now I'm like, I'm not trying to push myself to be anywhere. Like, I understand, like, hey, this is it's the first week. Just get up, get there, get in the routine of doing this, where it almost seems like it's just a normal part of my life. And I wanted to make sure I put cardio at like the heart of it, because I understand that's what I really need. I don't need to be working, super focused on getting massive biceps and getting I need to get in there and get in some cardio and sweat. And so if my routine starts with 30 minutes of cardio or ends with 30 minutes of cardio, and that's just standard and it's easier, um, I mean, I could be,
What's the cardio for?
well, I mean, I think that's,
For weight loss?
yeah, mainly.
I mean, the abs are made in the kitchen.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, you can't. What they say, you can't outrun a shitty diet.
Well, I'll tell you what, like, my diet has been something I'm extremely proud of. Like, and I don't think I've had a horrible diet. Um, I think I would have like binge eating moments where I would be at home on a Sunday watching Charlotte, and like, I'll just order a pizza. But for a little while now, I've been like meal prepping. And since I've gotten the grill on Christmas, it's like, oh, I can go out there and cook, 15 chicken thighs in 10 minutes, cut them up. And then I've got, chicken
Yeah.
salad. So this week I made like a, like some, I just cooked a bunch of ground beef, mixed it in with like some onions, pepper, some curry powder, and then do that in a Rubbermaid tub, and that's worked a lot. I mean, that's really helped. I just having what I need to eat when I need to eat it, and like I really look forward to doing that. So the goal is just to keep going. If I can do this for 75 days, we'll definitely see results.
What other recovery kind of goals you've been trying to tackle for the year so far?
As far as substance abuse, or
No, just I mean, I don't even think of recovery as I don't even correlate it really with the substance anymore. I just kind of think of better in my life. Almost, I was thinking about this the other day. It's almost like you always hear people talk about like changing one coping mechanism with another.
what's up, Aaron?
A wrong.
People replace it with whatever, but like I think almost like the act of chasing a better life in all aspects of your life is kind of the new coping mechanism. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like just in the journey of that.
I would say that the one thing that I can relate with that in that sense is doing things I didn't normally do that I should have been doing, like going to doctor's appointments, um, really diving into areas of life where I want to kind of just focus on those areas. A good example is like with Project Exodus. With this new house we're opening, like we've kind of I don't want to sound arrogant, but I feel like I was doing just a lot of stuff up front. You've always been kind of behind the scenes, like managing a lot of the important um, finances aspect of it. Obviously, you're out there wheeling and dealing. Andrew's doing his thing.
Yeah. Nothing changes, man.
But now it's like our phone numbers are out there. We're getting a bunch of phone calls. There's intakes to do. And so this new house opens up. It's a female house, and letting go is so important. And I think last week, maybe a week before, Shelby and Angela took the reins. I was like, we had a meeting here at the house, and we're like, okay, here's the budget. Here's the thing. Go get us some stuff. And they did, and they've killed it. Like there's, and what it made me realize was like, okay, stop taking on the responsibility of everything. And I wasn't taking on the responsibility of everything I can out of necessity. It was out of control, right? Like I only trust myself. So now seeing like, I mean, they've gotten everything. Like those bedrooms look amazing with furniture, brand new blankets, desk, bedside tables.
The house was just empty like a week ago.
Yeah.
And now it's all,
It was less than empty.
yeah,
I mean, it was a little
looks
rough.
like a home now.
So
And that even goes over into like with the new construction that's being done there. Like Lonnie, I just gave him my credit card and like he's sending me the pictures of the receipts. I don't even want to see them because I'm like, what are we doing? But I understand that's Joel's department. Like,
yeah, I took I'm over there sweating at night, like swiping, like
yeah, it's and so like it's as far as my recovery, like I'm really trying to just dial myself in the areas that need to be worked on more than anything. And I used this analogy in a different conversation just yesterday, actually, about how I was asking Andrew, I was like, you remember teaching Eden to ride a bike? He was like, yeah. I was like, what was that? I was asking him, like, what is that feeling when you finally let go of the seat and he takes off? You know what I mean? Like, what is that in emotion? And what he said, I think I was actually there the day it happened. Ironically, it took Eden like 6 seconds. Like he literally got up on his bike, he let go, and he was gone. I mean, that's all it took. But the analogy or the metaphor there is, as a parent or as a leader, when you're holding that seat, you're in control, right? And you don't want to let go because you don't want something to happen to this thing that you care so much about, whether it's a project, whether it's a kid, whatever. However, it's important that when you do let go, that you keep saying, good job, I'm proud of you, keep going, like pushing in a very positive way rather than try to grab that seat because you're so afraid of something happening. Of course, like kids fall, they scrape their knees, but that's how they learn to continue to work on this thing. And I think the back end of that too is like Eden's always going to turn around and remember his dad. And he's either going to remember, him trying to grab the seat and keep him steady and not letting go, or he's going to remember him standing back there going, hey, you can do it, keep going. And so in life and in this project and in the recovery homes and things like that, I've just got to learn to let go and encourage the team and the pieces that we have in place, just to keep going. You can do this. And so like other things I'm working on is just really just trying to dial into those things. Like I have a control issue. I have an issue with being disciplined enough to take care of myself, make doctor's appointments, go to them, look into like my mental health, maybe even look at talking to a therapist to really kind of unload some stuff and work through some things. I've kind of reached this level of in my finances. I don't know. I should have probably asked Joel about this before I did it, but I've been taking like a small portion of my check every week and putting it in my Fidelity account and then taking it and investing it into like the S&P 500 mutual funds and index funds. Last week I put it into Bitcoin and, it's like they have a crypto part of Fidelity and, I have learned just don't look at it because that thing, oh my God.
yeah,
It moves. Like where a normal index fund, like I would check it in the morning and it either like gained $1 or lost $1 or something like that. This thing's losing, tens of twenties of dollars are gaining it by the minute. Like that's how volatile this stock is.
Yeah.
I mean,
you got to just put it in there and just wait 10 years. You can't like watch it every day because you're living and dying every day. Like, what kind of mood am I going to be in before lunch? Let's check. Oh man, I mean, it's a soul crusher.
so yeah, go ahead.
I mean, just put it in there. Don't even look. Wait 5 years.
It's wild, man, because it's like this portion of my check that I take out, the vast majority of it goes into, a very stable, low risk, it's got how long's the S&P been around? 80 years, something. Oh, who we got?
Freeze.
Ron? I don't know.
Oh, that screen?
I don't know.
No,
As long as you're good.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's probably over here. But the vast majority of it goes in a pretty secure stock. This one, I got to go back and forth. Like I can't look at like
Is it for actual gains, or is it for so that you can kind of gamble a little bit? You just a
well,
little something exciting going on? Or?
so I have like different like my portfolio is pretty broad. Like I have like an investment one, like my Roth IRA that I put money in every week, and then I have like an investment one that is more short term because I do have a goal of like saving X amount of dollars this year, like not touching it for 2025. So for the short term, um, for my what is that? Is that Shelby? Yeah, it's intentional. This what does he say? Look on your side because it says Seymour. What you got, Aaron? What's Aaron saying?
He's saying a lot
Is
over
this
there.
touchscreen?
It's a whole,
No, but you gotta
whole
just use the
paragraph.
mouse pad. Just go over to the left.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And then you can scroll down and then hit the see more. I know he wrote a novel. My God.
My goal for 2025 is to really focus on my character defects. I'll be 16 months sober on the 23rd, and even though I've been sober from alcohol, doesn't mean I'm fully the man I'm supposed to be. I've realized even in sobriety, I can be a jerk sometimes. I have come a long way, but I know I still have a lot to work on.
Yeah, that's a good thing to talk about right there. Thanks, Aaron. So one thing that is very prevalent in recovery is you realize everyone's still, is sick. That's just a mild way to put it. There are a lot of people in my circle that are in recovery. Actually, all the people in my circle are in some form of recovery that still suffer with character defects. I mean, even if you're not in recovery, quote unquote, everyone has character defects, and it's being aware, like you mentioned here, and working on those things that really kind of separate you from the pack from, bettering yourself. It is it's a struggle because there's a daily reprieve, there's a daily inventory when it comes to, making wrongs right by apologizing. And that's a very tough step for a lot of people. It still is. Like it's not something you do once and you put behind you. It's something you have to constantly do. Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's probably just a sort of signal thing over there. What do you think about that in the character defects and being a jerk all the time? Aaron's never been a jerk to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking even on the way over here. You're a lot better at always kind of consciously looking at the way you communicate with people and stuff, and I just don't. I just come off flying. And even on the way over here, I was talking earlier, like getting on the podcast. I'm like, man, make sure you're positive on the podcast. Make sure you're complimenting. You're positive on, give positive energy. Because I'll just forget. I'll just go back to my just I don't know. My thoughts are crazy though. So
yeah, it's what's weird is like a lot of people, and this happens a lot. Like you kind of get to, and the closer you get with people and you get to know them over time, you get to know their
defects.
Yeah, like you. So I'm going to use you as an example. Joel's not a hothead, right? He's not, but he's just very blunt to the point, and he will call you out on your crap. We've always said that. However, my advice to people when dealing with Joel is just let him go, right? Because on the back end of that, it calms down. Like there's peaks and just enjoy the ride. John, over at East Mark, one day we were at the house. You were there, and I told everybody before Joel even got there, I was like, Joel's fixing to come in here. He's fixing to go off, sit back. Don't say anything. Just let him go. And damn it, if John did not, everything Joel said, John was just like, there was just this excuse or this reason, and Joel didn't want to hear it. And when you're in the trenches with Joel in those moments, you're going to lose because Joel's going to have some sick comebacks that are just, they're daggers. Usually like when I run into Joel and he's doing that, I'm just like, how many C4s have you had today?
Not enough.
And he usually laughs, and there's humility there, and a lot of people like that, like my relationship with Lonnie's like that. People's relationship with me is like that because I have my triggers. But when you really dive deep into character defects, I think the one thing you learn is everyone has them. So you're able to identify them, especially in social settings, right? Like you can just see them from a mile away, and it's really learning how to respond to them. And it's not easy. Some people are the nicest people in the world.
I noticed one big one is like the frustrated feeling. And when you're frustrated, man, you can't hold back. Like I'll be hanging out with like a Stephanie in the car, and I start getting frustrated, and there's nowhere to go because we're driving down the road. I can't like step out the vehicle. I can't run, and I'm getting ready to say something crazy. You know what I mean? That I know I'll regret later. Could have talked about it in a different way or positive angle and worked all this, but I'm just getting ready to flip.
There's like not saying anything at all. Got it.
Yeah, or just and there's nothing to do. It's like I'm consciously fighting a feeling, and there's nowhere to go. Usually I can just leave, and then there's no consequence to, or she'll be like, "There you go, leaving again." It's like I'm saving us. I'm saving the relationship by running away.
It's I mean, you guys know. I mean, relationship advice is it's everywhere, and it's usually the same. It's like walk away, don't go to bed angry, like very traditional things. But it's so true in every relationship, like even like with friendships and work, things like that. It's better to just think level headed and not be so emotionally invested in those conversations because hindsight's 2020. You leave that conversation, like Joel said, and think about how else you could have handled it. But being conscious enough to recognize that this is my character defect. I don't handle these situations well, whether it's organizationally or, intimate relationship wise, like those moments, you can really tear you apart later. Like, where you just feel so much shame for the way that you acted in response to something that was really simple. I'll tell you a really funny story. Man. So when I was years ago, when I first got married, my ex-father-in-law told me, he's like, if she ever comes home, she ain't coming back. We lived in Orlando and they were from Tallahassee. So it's like, if you guys get in an argument and she leaves and comes back to my house, she's not coming back to yours. And I was like, okay, I don't know what that meant. And I farted one night in the bedroom, and this was like week 2 of being married, and she got so mad.
Well, like what kind of fart?
Bad.
Well, I mean, like on purpose?
No, well, I mean,
what do you mean?
What's on purpose? Like,
you could have walked away. That's very respectful.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like it's late. We're in the bed, and
you're taking advantage of being married.
No,
I'm on her side already.
But I'm a dude, but she was very ladylike. But she got so mad. And it turned into this argument of like, that's rude, that's disrespectful, that's nasty. And I'm like, oh, what do you want me to do? Like, it's human nature. Like, it's,
You thought marrying her, promising her forever was just...
I could fart when I want. Yeah. But I won't never forget, like, it got to this point where, like, she's calling her family at like 1-2 o'clock in the morning. Like, we're in this...
Did she explain that?
Well, I mean, you got to think...
Or it escalated?
This argument escalated to where we are just not conceding, and so this is like big argument number 1, and she calls home and mom's on the phone, and she's confiding in mom, and it's late, and she's on speakerphone, and I hear her dad go, "Give me the phone," and he goes, "I just want to know one thing. Why are you arguing? Where did it start?" And she goes, "Paul farted," and he goes, "We're up at 2 o'clock in the morning arguing over a fart? Goodbye." And later he set us down. He's like, when you really, if you ever stop and take a breath and both think, what are we arguing over? Like, what is the thing? Not the principle. Are you going to let this thing be the reason that you get a divorce? And
yeah, but I mean, you guys did get a divorce, and it probably was not. Yeah. No, so... But the escalation of some fights bring up a lot of stuff that probably does need to be talked about. So there is some positive
Well, I think the thing he was really getting at is really figure out what the reason is. If
Right.
it's worth being up at
only
2 o'clock
call
in the morning.
me when you guys are getting the divorce.
Yeah.
Is what he was saying.
And the reason I use that as that example is because a lot of times when it comes to character defects and like Aaron was saying, like being a jerk, a lot of times if we go and we like, hey, why am I so upset? Like, what about this scenario has made me so mad that I'm being an absolute jerk to someone? And usually you can dive deep enough and say, I get triggered by this, or I'm being a jerk because, I don't like the way someone eats with their mouth open or, just something weird, but really figure out like how serious is it? Is it a them problem or is it a me problem? And really classify those things and break it down and try to address them internally. And maybe abstain from being around it or learn how to handle it. It's a difficult thing, but I feel like it's a part of life that everyone's capable of mastering if you really invest into it. So don't fart 2 weeks into marriage. At least ask or say, "Do you mind if I break the leg?"
Character defect. This dude is disrespectful.
When it's spoke.
Yeah.
What are you working on? 2025, man.
Well, I've been eating a lot better. I mean, I have.
That was kind of forced on you. Anything you're consciously gonna do?
I'd like to get back into the gym. I feel like kind of where Paul was at, except I wasn't going to the gym and sitting in the parking lot. I've been sitting in my bed.
Yeah. Yeah, did he make
about
it?
it like,
Dirt
damn,
bag.
like, it sounds good.
Yeah, didn't even make it to the car.
No. So I think that is definitely one of the things that I'd love to work on is to actually just go. Like, just don't think about it. Just get up and go to the gym and then go right to work.
Do you guys see yourself like falling in love with it? Because I don't know how you guys are ever gonna do it anyway. Like if I didn't love going to the gym, I'm not gonna make it there. I'm not gonna make it there daily. I'm not gonna make it there. I mean, I'm gonna always fade off. Like if there's no love for that, there's no inner drive for progress to even look aesthetically or for my health, I'm just not gonna ever make it there. It's just like that's just kind of like a human approach to a lot of work. You don't want to do it unless you love it.
I think it's something that I gotta do like solo, like just go to the gym by myself, figure it out a little bit. Because every time I've always gone with somebody else, then they fall off, and then I'm like, I don't want to go here by myself. So
Yeah.
if I start off going by myself and then I go with people eventually, like that'd be kind of cool. And then maybe I'll fall in love with it. I don't think I can fall in love with it and not like do it.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think that I'm doing it to fall in love with it. I will tell you what I do love is I love the feeling afterwards.
Yeah.
Like the satisfaction of knowing that I did something that was hard and I didn't really want to do it. And I do think that at some point it would probably evolve into an absolute love for working out, but maybe the science and the mechanics of it all and perfecting certain things.
It's just looking at it as a chore. I just wouldn't be able to do it. Like I look at things as chores before working out. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'll adjust my entire schedule just so I can go to the gym. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like a more of a love obsession type thing.
It's something that just comes like naturally. You just like you wake up, go to the gym, go to work. I don't know, hit the gym again. Like how many times a day do you go to the gym? Just once?
Yeah, generally just once. So
Yeah, Joel's rule of thumb is 20 minutes of heavy lifting. Or lifting something heavy every day is a necessity. He told me that one time. And just to be fair, I think of that quite often. It resonates. Like, I will say my one particular thing about going to the gym is it is a little bit of an escape, from I've learned that I have to put it at a time when there's nothing else going on, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. But it's so far so good. One cool thing that I noticed. So I think I was telling you this in the last episode was I understand like how the things in my body that I think are broken, like my right knee's like always been an issue, and I don't want to get a knee replacement. And then it hit me. I'm like, I'm 37. Like I just need to go to the gym. Already it feels 1,000 times better. And I've only been, but I go and walk for 30 minutes at a high pace up an incline, and So walking up the stairs to the treadmills this morning, I was like, oh, dude, this feels way better. So
I like I like that you brought up like kind of changes your, like when I'm at the gym, it's that one it's like 145, 50 minutes of just like, even if my mind tries to like get anxious about something, I can work it off. You know what I mean? If I start to worry about something, I can outlift it. Like I can take my mind to like a different level of, like probably similar to people that do yoga. I never understood yoga because then I have to be calm, quiet with myself. It's like, nah, man, that's how are we gonna do that? But like if you're staying busy or you're working out at the gym, that's total vacation of the day. I kind of split my day in between working at my full-time accountant job, hit the gym, and then the rest is like the houses or the nonprofit or relationship or
It's
whatever.
you time. It's kind of like getting a haircut. Like when you're getting cut up for like 45 minutes, it's like
Yeah, but I got social anxiety, so haircut's horrible. 2025. Hey.
here's
I should know
Charlotte.
it.
I like it when her hair is like that.
Yeah, she's got a bathtub.
2025 is the year I work on my social anxiety though, for sure.
And that's where we need to go now.
I
Away from the gym.
2025 is going to be the year I shake people's hands and I look them in the eyes at the same time. You know what I mean? Like that would be my next step. It's been one of the gifts that social anxiety kind of gives you, you concentrate on everyone's behavior, their movement, the way they talk and think, and then you kind of take that memory and then you build off of that from the next time you kind of run into them, because you don't know really how to act in a social situation. You're always feeling uncomfortable, so you're looking for all these cues and whatever. There's just a lot of calculations going on with someone with social anxiety. So I don't know, it's been a slow grind to just be normal or
Yeah.
to some better level that I can fit in with society a lot better.
Well, you're getting a lot better. 'Cause like I tell you this all the time. Like from when you first started doing the meetings during the meeting, uh
What you mean? Next
yeah, the next
next
gen,
generation recovery.
yeah,
Shout out.
um like the way that you speak now is like so fluent and like it's such a progress from like where you came from. Like you could tell that you were like visibly like when I get up there, like I'm nervous as hell.
Yeah, I'm nervous for you, and you're introducing me, and it's like, oh, here we go.
You can hear it in the voice.
God, yeah. But if, but anyway, like overanalyzing every single person I've been around for years, from childhood to school and classes, and the way we spoke, and all that taken into effect, I was probably one of the most extreme people in every school I ever went to, every class, probably the shyest kid there. I mean, luckily I was like a decent looking kid, so it took the edge off of, otherwise, like I would have like no way of fitting in whatsoever. You know what I mean? I would just be kind of the creepy, weird kid in the back of the class. I mean, that's where I wanted to go. That's where my brain told me to go.
It's where you
And,
can relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as I get home, it's like, all right, finally, no one's around. I can just be me. You know what I mean?
I think it's
And that's just a crazy, like you guys will go to the gym with someone. Like that sounds like a nightmare. You know what I mean?
it's like fire. It's like fire and ice. Like I'm over here trying to adjust to a workout regimen. You're trying to learn how to shake hands and look
Yeah,
people in the eye. And so it's like to me that's like a cakewalk. To him, what I'm trying to do is like a cakewalk.
Yeah, I'm like, get out your car. You're already at the gym. It's 5 a.m. Get out.
Yeah,
You
it's
freaking
like-
pussy, man.
Oh
And to
my
me,
God.
it's like, dude, just shake his hand. Look
Yeah.
him in the eyes.
What are you
I'm like,
talking
dude,
about?
this is too.
Yeah, it's ant.
It's too much, right?
Oh no! I can remember some of the first times like Joel spoke. I think I was there when you did. Did you share your testimony yet?
No, never.
Oh well, I remember like going to some of the things when he was talking. You could hear like you can. It's not just Joel. Like you can hear a lot of people like the nerves in their voice.
Yeah.
You don't have that anymore until the paper goes away.
Yeah, I was still super nervous. Not last Saturday, but Saturday before that, I was still nervous because I did it without prepared speech. So I left a lot of stuff I wanted to communicate out and just kind of had to roll with it. But it was pretty bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Throat gets kind of choked up. But even in these podcasts, like this is the most comfortable I've been in a podcast, and it's weird, like the psychology of it. Like I wanted to not get to a place where you know what I mean? Like me over caring about the next generation recovery meeting and wanting to perform because it's kind of that toxic mindset of perfectionism. Like I don't want to get up there unless I'm perfect. Well, then I never get up there. You know what I mean? I'll just never, you know what I mean? I don't want to approach that girl at the gym unless I'm just walking up like the perfect specimen of a man. Well, then I never get to walk up to her and say anything. You know what I mean? It's like, like I just, the fear of not being perfect is probably a huge portion of the.
That's why I didn't get out of the car. The expectations that I
I'm
was
not going to bench 350. So off to Starbucks for the
or
coffee.
it's like I think there was and also it's like not knowing what to do,
Yeah.
right? Like
Oh, people are going to see me.
I remember thinking it was like so I was thinking to myself just a couple days ago, I was like, oh, I need to do like, you know, dumbbell presses or something. And I'm like, well, how much do I lift?
Yeah, like you think everyone's looking at you and judging. And they are probably.
Dude,
But
if I
it's
could
like,
be in a room by myself, like at a gym with everything and the music playing and the environment and just do it by myself, I think it'd be so much better.
I think when I first started working, I used to worry about like how much I lifted, and I just got in my own way, and I tore up my shoulder, and I just messed up a lot of things. You know what I mean? Trying to ego lift to feel comfortable to even be in the gym. You know what I mean? And then at some point, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go lightweight in front of everyone, in front of the, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people get that body, was it dysmorphia or whatever? Because they're around, like, you get to the gym and that's no longer normal population of people. You know what I mean? Those are just lifters, especially depending on what time you go.
Yeah, these guys are jacked.
You're just standing next to the most jacked people in town. And then you're like, oh, okay, here we go. You know what I mean? You forget that that's not normal population, and just, you know what I mean, like you're in the elite of that specific age bracket or in that group at that time. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like your competition just went, you know.
I think the comparison here too, like it's like I've learned not to have an expectation that's like, you know, over the top, like where you were talking about with like being perfect.
Yeah, perfect or don't go.
No, it's like and I don't have this expectation that I'm going to look like this in 75 days, but I do have like an expectation of like if I just keep doing this, Charlotte, I have. So real quick, everybody's watching. I'm going to have to replace some batteries here just in a moment. So just Joel's going to keep talking. I'm going to go grab some batteries, and if the mics go dead, just stick around with me on a couple minutes. Go ahead.
All right. So first off, I heard he wants to be healthy for Charlotte. Can you imagine him jacked like 10 years from now? He's just freaking
Like
ripped. He's like, this was all for you, Charlotte. No way, man. Come on. But I think a lot of you know, a lot of the whole reason to go to the gym a lot of times is for that confidence, that aesthetic, you know, look or whatever. So I don't know, like
I think for me, it's more of like the feeling. Like you feel so much better after you go to the gym. Just like leaving the gym, like how tight your muscles are.
yeah,
Like,
get that little pump.
yeah,
You achieve something. I think it's and I heard this. I forget where I saw this or heard this. It was like that you have that a certain part of your brain grows. What's that? What?
Shelby.
What's it picking up?
No.
Battery change.
I just said Shelby, her and Angela should do a podcast next week.
She's here.
Who's here? Charlotte.
Angela's here?
Angela's here?
No.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, she's on the.
Is the mic working?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a girls' podcast going sometime soon.
Hi, Charlotte.
All right. So I brought Charlotte with me.
Look at her hair. Are you guys cutting her hair at all or just letting it grow?
Are you cutting her hair?
Well, I don't know. Some people cut their baby's hair.
Is the camera on?
Say hi. Is it this camera?
Yeah. No, yeah, you can turn a little bit. You want to eat the mic?
Can't eat the mic, Charlotte.
So this is Charlotte. Say hi.
Yeah. This is the reason he goes.
This is why I go to the gym.
Yeah.
This is what I want to be able to say hi. Where's Joel? Say hi, doo doo. She's looking for him. Who's that? Yeah, but this is why I go to the gym. Like this is my like new reason is like I've started to realize like that being better in every area is better for the people in my life in addition to me.
Yeah, for sure. The even chasing the chasing a goal selfishly for yourself, the outcome pays off a lot of people around you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, like the next, like in addition to that, like I really want to work on the spiritual side of stuff. Like I want to go to church more. Are you okay? Who is that? Doo doo. Where? So I did recommend to Shelby a while ago that Angela and Shelby should do a podcast next week at least in place of us. So maybe if we can get them to, I know they're busy, so if they have time. Okay. Say hi, mommy. Where's mama?
Mama.
Mama? Where? All right, go get mama. You go. What else are we going to talk about?
How much time have we got?
Time is it?
Got 20 minutes left.
20 minutes?
What?
Dang.
So let's talk about the houses.
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah.
Big, some probably medium size. So some leadership changes are going on. New houses, new leadership. I think it's on kind of the timing that I know Paul is always trying to rush things. I kind of wanted a slower, gentler,
Don't blame me.
structured move. You know what I mean? So I think it's actually working. It's probably working out perfect time for a lot of structural changes, and I think it's going to get better, man.
I think this new house I'm learning. I think we're both learning one thing. It's like we can't just go jump at something. Like it takes time, it takes money, it takes a lot of sacrifice. I mean, I'll be glad when this thing's running. It's it's not as much work. But now it's like, okay, do we want to? Do we just want to open another one at some point? And being able to actually plan that out accordingly.
Right. This one we as far as the house, we kind of just jumped in based on opportunity. So it's more nervousness, I think, in my head financially than it is by anybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I'm at the gym by myself at 4:30 when Paul hits me up every day. That's why I know it's almost time to leave the gym. Paul tries to call me. And I'm like, all right. Right there at the end.
Today I got off at noon, went by the new house just to kind of check on it. It's immediate drama at another house. I had to run over there. We actually had to call the cops, get a guy out. Like he's threatening to like break things in the house, and then the cops get there and come to find out he's got a warrant, so they just cuff him.
No way.
Passion.
But like I was thinking, I was like, man, I'm glad I had half a day off today. Like. And then I'm taking stuff back to the other house.
That's just like some of the things that happen. Like,
it's a process, and I don't ever want to. But first off, I'd never give up on anyone, even when it's, even when it's pretty extreme. But it's like, I know, like based on everything I've learned so far, and especially in myself, and everything I've went through, I think people change tremendously over just 2 or 3 years go by in recovery, whether they want to be there or not. Like I think we're going to see a big shift. Some of the people that some people would look at as like failures in recovery or whatever. Would I say that when failure in recovery or a winner in recovery is just a failure who tried one more time? You know what I mean? Like that's kind of
clip it.
That's kind of the mentality of it. You know what I mean? Like so it's, a lot of these guys that I've been struggling with, I've watched them in and out of the houses for years now. Like they're going to be, I think, a couple years from now, be in the ultimate position to help out like so many people. We're dealing with this one guy that was thinking about coming back in. He's pretty much been in every house. He's lived out in the streets for like, I don't know, 10 years. I think he lived behind an Italian restaurant and worked in there for like years, just slept outside. You know what I mean? And it's people like that like if they can finally get it, they finally want it, and they put the time in, the work in it, man, they are going to help out so many people in life. What you thinking, Charlotte? What's up? That's me talking.
Yeah,
What's on your mind?
What's up? Yeah.
Yay! The wheels on.
It's gonna be crazy. Like when she's 7 or 8 and she's on the playground or whatever. Do they even have playgrounds nowadays in schools? But yeah. So she'll be telling that like, what's your parents do or whatever. You know what I mean? She'll be like, oh man, they got like these podcasts and mics and video, cameras set up.
Yeah. She'll be like,
That's gonna be. What do they talk about? Well,
dude,
yeah.
Uncle Joel. Yeah, it's talking about like some of the things that when you're talking not giving up on people, man, I like. There's a lot of things that come with this industry that you realize really quick you didn't anticipate. The numerous guys that have been in and out of the program. Like we had a guy we had to take a detox the other day, and there was even some backlash about him going to detox and then coming back into the program.
Yeah.
Like, oh, why would you let him do that? Why would you let him? I'm like, well, he went to detox. He understands he has a problem.
Yeah.
It's Shelby, can I give her back?
It's hard to find the right balance of enabling but also having a consequence to continue the journey. You know what I mean? Because that can kind of throw you off. Like if you use or drink or whatever again and you're in recovery or something like a halfway house, and there's no immediate consequence for that, well then it kind of enables. It's like, oh well, nothing bad happened that time. You know what I mean? It sets you up for failure for another time. It gives you that wrong belief that I can
Right, and then somebody else
drink without a consequence, or I can use and there not be that bad of consequences. So there's that fine line. You never know where it's at. You never know where someone is. You never really know when someone's being completely honest with you, how bad they really want it. I deal with a lot of guys that are their new way of using is sobering up for like a week or two in a halfway house and then then jump into a detox and then come back to another halfway house and kind of jump from every halfway house in town. And that's just kind of their new way of using. And they just go on some weekend benders and then jump. I mean, it becomes there's no growth from that.
Yeah.
And so it's I don't know. It's so not giving up on guys. I totally understand this is a process. Some guys are probably 20-year processes. You know what I mean? Depending on how honest they are with us and with themselves. What's the other phrase? The bigger the recovery dragon, the bigger the hero.
I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
You just clip it.
clip.
I mean, I wanted to say this, and I will not go into too many details, but I can't stand the politics within recovery. Like, it is the most childish, elementary, petty thing when you're getting phone calls of, well, so and so told me that you guys were doing this and it's a conflict of this. And I'm like, I feel like that's the devil trying to use good people to stagger the progress of something positive you're doing. And being able to mentally just not care about the opinions of other people is tough sometimes, because a lot of the people that have these opinions, like, I have so much respect for. So the politics in this community is like so weird. Like the haters that would just hate on what you're doing and then try to, just crap on your name and what the work you're doing.
Yeah, I didn't. I was talking to Andrew about this last night. I didn't realize we were making way. I didn't realize how big we were getting until people started hating. Like that was the sign. I mean, I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for the backlash. Like everyone's like, "Oh, you guys are when we started the nonprofit, everyone was like, "Oh, that's cute. You guys are selling. Oh, you're making your own shirts. That's super cute. And you're making, you're helping people with phones and bus passes, helping them in early recovery, and oh, you guys, started a next generation recovery meeting. Oh, that's cute. And then oh, you guys bought out some halfway houses, and oh, you're adding a woman's home that's
It's not so
six home.
cute
Oh, you
anymore.
got big time leadership people rolling in, and you're building structure, and you're making, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, you know what? Time out.
Hold on.
You guys need to stop,
Well,
man.
you guys are crossing the line
Settle
now.
down, settle down.
Yeah, like
So we are doing something, and it's I don't know. This train's moving. We're just gonna keep bettering the people around us. I mean, and build off that unity. I think that we kind of had that. I think a lot of other. I mean, whatever is built in society is built based on a need.
Right.
Like if there wasn't a need for what we're doing, it wouldn't exist.
yeah.
At the end of the day,
And we don't claim to like be the first people to ever have these ideas. We do want to be different, but I think what makes us different is we don't exclude people. I'm not excluding anyone based on
Anything. Really.
I'm loyal to anyone that needs help, right? Anyone that's wanting to better themselves. I want to be loyal to that. I don't want to be I'm not loyal to Project Exodus because it's Project X. I wouldn't be loyal to this if it wasn't helping people of all walks of life in every program and in every place that needs it. I had a guy from Birmingham, Alabama, call me 2 days ago, and he's like works with some technical college up there where he goes into the jails, and he goes into the prisons, and he called me and says, "Hey, I heard about what you guys are doing. Like, can you tell me more about it?" And I'm like, oh, "Okay, well, gave him the rundown." He was like, "Can I send guys to Florida?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah, I mean, you always call and see if we got a bed open. I mean, but that's like, I mean, we've been doing this a year, and I've got people blowing my phone up from everywhere. Like, we had a lady reach out the other day. It's like, when can you start doing this in Port Charlotte?" I'm not saying that this is something we're at the stage to take on, but every juncture where it's been this new challenge, God has provided a way to make it happen. You know what I mean? Like that, and American Express, like that. You know what I mean? Like there's just been these things like where we selflessly just walked in and said, okay, well, we're going to take it on. None of us are experts in any of this stuff. We just use drugs and alcohol at one point in time.
It's crazy. Those next generation recovery meetings, those aren't even substance abuse connected. You know what I mean? Like those are for anyone walks in off the street, regardless of if they ever use a coping mechanism like drugs or alcohol, or used it habitually.
And the ridicule and criticism we have received because of that.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to say everybody's hating on it, but there's definitely some haters that have made it a point to say, I'm not going to that. That's not okay. That's not right because of it being different. And, that's just one example. I mean, we're starting, I don't want to go into it. I mean, it's not out of fear of hurting anybody's feelings. I want to just point out that when it comes to like when we're talking about character defects and being able to recognize it before it comes to you that that's someone else's character defects, that's the benefit of this. Is I'm recognizing that a lot of people hate what we're doing, either A, because they're not doing it, or B, because it's different from what they're used to.
Haters only hate because of fear. So,
yeah, and
I mean, that's really what's going on.
And it's sad because I look back and I just try to think like, man, like I'm going to pray for these people, because if they think my focus is to hurt them, they're out of their mind, because I'm so focused on helping other people that I could care less about trying to stagger anybody else's progress. And it's one of those things that,
and I think I think it hinders like our mission and our journey. Constantly worrying. I feel like even in the next generation recovery meetings, we like this nagging. What's up? Is that one of our phones? Maybe mine or something?
the camera go dead?
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
That's frozen on here.
Well, whose phone is that?
Oh, change the camera.
Yeah.
Good.
But anyway,
did my computer go dead?
This computer's live.
Oh, then I don't understand.
Or like rookies and
It's only camera number 2 that's on.
Okay, cool. But the mic's working?
Yeah.
So what was I even saying? Oh, it's like even the next generation recovery meeting, we kind of like, I think that kind of loses its kind of gets crippled on us trying to like softly give the blow to like 12-step meetings. Like we don't get a lot of people that only found recovery in 12-step meetings come to the next generation recovery meeting because they're kind of told that that is the only recovery there is. You know what I mean? Like you can only get help there. And I think that's just kind of a mindset that will slowly change as the years go on. You know what I mean? Not taking anything from 12-step recovery. It has pretty much everything you'd ever need to better your life in every way. You know what I mean? But it's like, I think we've dealt with just so many people that I don't know. What's
Oh, is that Joel?
That's probably mine going.
That's fine.
So someone saw me live on the podcast and need to blow me up. Or the jail. I've been getting a lot of, the Sarasota County Jail put us on the front tablet. So it's like nonstop. People read what we're all about and they call me up to tell me that they like.
Can you imagine the guy that went to jail today from one of our houses getting there and getting his tablet?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Can't wait to get on this damn thing.
And I want to say this:
he's been fighting it. I mean, that guy I've been involved with for a while and talked to him, if not daily but weekly. And I know it's a process. He's going through that grind where he's like, I don't want to do the things necessary for me to have a better life,
and it's everybody else's fault.
And that's just a maturity level, just in life in general. It's a maturity level in recovery. He's thankfully I think he's going to figure it out. Unfortunately, he's going to figure it out with a lot more consequences, like we all kind of went through. So, hopefully, pain. I wish that would be the greatest gift if we could do anything in recovery besides making recovery look cool. If we could limit the amount of consequences people have to go through in life in order to see, recovery as a better option.
Yeah, because the level of consequences that are associated with this disease and this issue, there is a wide scale. The most severe being losing your life. The worst thing, maybe you get, a DUI or you get, whatever, some things like that. But in these cases, it's so wild in the home aspect of it, because when you encounter people that are just there because they have to be there, them not understanding they're there because of their consequences. Like, this is a consequence of your abuse, alcoholism, addiction, your behavior in general. It's so hard to get some people to capture that. And I think it gets lost in, their why. Like, oh, I've got kids, I've got this, I got a job. I can't dedicate any part of my day to recovering or working on myself because of all of these obligations. And it's almost a relief when you meet somebody that wants to come into recovery that has lost their job, that's lost their family, that's lost all these things, because there's nothing holding them back now. Like, there's not this thing that's tying them down thinking that they can't do it. Like, oh, I can't go into detox because I got this job at Little Caesars. Like, what?
Yeah, that's not even not only just that as well, but like, I don't know. Unfortunately for me, I had to go through a very specific amount of pain before that pain allowed me to see a different way of life. You know what I mean? And then it was a lot. And it was a lot for years. I mean, not just financial, relationship wise, jail and records. I mean, I got two DUIs on my record that will be there for 75 years. That's the law. So every time I try to go for a job interview or change a career, I have to be represented by that. You know what I mean?
I got a drinking problem back in the day.
Yeah, 20 years ago I used to drink, and then it's like, well, can we hire this guy? He used to drink alcohol 20 years ago and then, drive.
But kind of that conversation
like,
started, though. Like, you get to explain, like, this was my past, but this is what I'm doing today to correct that.
Yeah. And it's not even, and to be honest, and this is probably if there is something beautiful about alcoholism and addiction, it's the one thing you can have that if you work some type of recovery program and confront it, strategically or with honesty and the help of other people, you can end up a better person. So it's hard for me to say that in a job interview and be like, yeah, that definitely was me, but let me tell you about what that did for me. You know what I mean? That created probably the best version of myself to go from that depths of how low I was in that rebuilding process when I didn't care whether I lived or died, and to come up through that and to calculate that and take that journey and that emotional toll that took on me, and to do it with the help of people around you, and now to give back. You know what I mean? Like that whole process, the maturity level in life, the way I see life, and the more inner perspective, like the more I look deeper into myself, I'm just a better version, period. And so that's hard to throw that on the
Yeah.
in the job interview.
Yeah, you can't bring your sponsor to your job interview. You can't bring your home group so they can all sit there before this interview and go, "Oh, he's doing great." Like it's but I do want to say that what I've noticed since I've been in recovery, I meet so many people that are also in recovery. Like if I ever mention it, a lot of times I'll meet people like, yeah, I've been sober for 8 years, and that's cool. Your friends will bill, like it's that, it's almost like a brotherhood or a family of people that understand. And it makes me realize how many people addiction and alcoholism and, substance abuse, homelessness, incarceration, it touches everybody.
Even if they're not like, even if they don't have like addiction or alcoholism, like they know somebody that does, or that's in the program. It's like a real beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, everyone's got a friend or a family member, period. I mean, it's very rare nowadays to not have someone like that. And I noticed this a lot, even when I was going to the gym, which I pictured this place where I'm going to see not even the general population numbers of what people are in recovery. And it blew my mind. It was the other way, especially when we started selling shirts. It didn't matter what time I was going to the gym. Like there was people rocking our shirts at the gym and stuff, and I was just like, oh yeah, man, like, this is a lot of people that I'd see at meetings, and then if I started calculating what time I went and started counting, there's 24 people here. Well, 4 of them are, I know for a fact, in recovery because they're in our homes, or they go to our meetings or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what's the actual, what I mean? So then you're peaking on 20% of the people at the gym most times I go are in recovery or maybe in and out of active addiction.
I'll tell you what was cool is whenever I would see social media posts. I think like Jen, she went to Founders Day, and Tony went to Founders Day up in Akron to I guess Bill Wilson's house or whatnot. And they're like taking pictures on the front porch and posting their social media, and they got Project X's shirts on. And then like seeing what's that convention in Orlando?
Frickna?
Yeah. The Frickna event last year. Like there's all these posts of all these things, and then there's like people like group, taking group pictures, and there's like 2 or 3 shirts or hoodies we made or whatnot. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Like, it just knowing that. What's funny, just knowing that we pressed that out in the shed and we used the money to help somebody, and I think we gave Urban one, and like he was wearing it on a podcast the other day. Or like a buddy of mine went over there to work on his lights out in his yard, and he's like, I pulled up and he was wearing one of your shirts. It's like, yeah, it's cool. Like it's really it's neat to see that we can, not hide this,
Yeah. And the shirts have really became, it was kind of helped with like unity and obviously to support people in early recovery, but now it became kind of a symbol of unity. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, okay, there's no whispers. There's no whispers because I saw you in the AA basement, last week, and oh, you're a friend of Bill. No, you're wearing it. You represent,
I'm proud of it.
Yeah, you're proud of it, and you're one. Yeah, you're proudly. What's I think Angela says it recovers out loud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
do we have any comments?
Just Aaron and Angela. But they said earlier.
Chatting it up. So we got what, a minute left? 2 minutes.
7:03.
Any
was it 7:03?
Yeah.
Oh man, we got updated news. Anything?
Well, we got the meeting this weekend, 1701 South Tuttle Avenue, Next Generation Recovery. Nicole Hastings is going to be there doing a presentation on routine. Something about routine. I don't know.
I think it's something probably
Come
on health.
pop out and find out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
come 7:00. You can get there early.
even if you can't make it, you can watch it live on Facebook Live. Starts at 7. Get there early. We usually have some refreshments, some socializing, and that's fun.
Got shirts there for sale. You can help someone out in the community that's suffering. Get them in early recovery. Get them in a recovery home. We're gonna do recovery hard on
2025. Fun.
Yeah.
Are we doing a ribbon cutting ceremony or no? I think we should. At
I
least,
think we should too.
Yeah.
The big old scissors.
Yeah, I've never done one before. I'm down for that. So
yeah. So, got a new house opening up next week. Female home. I'm sure there's a waiting list to get in there, but still call. Call if you're looking for sober living. Reach out to either Joel, myself. You can also reach out to Angela or Aunt. You can call Aunt too. You can call Shelby. And if we don't have a bed available, we will always do our best to find somewhere that you can go. There's really good programs in our town. Grace Recovery. Shout out to Purpose House and Grace Recovery. They're also in town. I don't know that they have beds open, but we usually work together to try to find a place. We don't want anyone to, not have a safe place to go and be sober, have a program. So,
plus it's a lot of, I'm so thankful they're reaching out in the jails and stuff. There's a lot of people that are just out there suffering and have never even heard of a halfway house or recovery home or sober living establishment outside of, like an institution, really.
Yeah. And if you want to support what we're doing here, by making a donation, you can go to our website at projectexoduscorp.com. We have a donation button there, and there's also a store there. You can actually go and go through all of our products on our website, and those products, all the money that we generate from those sales go into helping people in early recovery, like get them a cell phone so they can receive a call from that interview, get them a bus pass so they can get to and from. And in some cases, we even help pay the first couple of weeks into a program where, they wouldn't have been able to get in without that type of funding. So if you want to support what we do, that's a good way to go about it. And, we just want to say we're so thankful for everyone that's really helped this project move along. And I think that's it. What else we got?
It's all good.
All right, Ant. So I'm going to give you a little tutorial. I want you to click on the ad. You see that scene? It's like website ad. And then
Transition?
Not yet.
Tell everyone.
Thanks, everybody. My name's Paul with Project Exodus Corp. This is my good friend Joel. Thank you, Anthony, for coming in here and doing the production. We're so appreciative of you. Without you coming in, this would have been a nightmare.
Yep.
So thank you so much. And we hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Love you guys.
Go help someone.
This episode of the Project Exodus podcast is brought to you by ProjectExodusCorp.com. Visit our website and look through the catalog of all the products that we have, new and upcoming products, and even some of our classic t-shirts. All of the proceeds from these purchases go to helping someone in early recovery from substance abuse, whether that's getting a bus pass, a cell phone, or even maybe helping get into a recovery program. You can get them in all sizes and colors. Here's my favorite, in pink. Nice. These are great quality products that you can get here, and it goes towards a good cause. So again, thanks for checking us out and enjoy the show.